We're tracking Tropical Storm Idalia, the system strengthening in the warm waters off Mexico and now moving toward Florida.
Tis a reminder of the season, right? Idalia is forecast to make landfall this week, potentially as a hurricane. Preps are underway in the Big Bend area. Governor Ron DeSantis declaring a state of emergency for 33 counties. And certified meteorologist Luke Doris, well, he's been busy tracking that storm and timing things out for us.
And Luke, South Florida will still see the impacts and feel the impacts even though it's not coming our way.
Much of the state, yes, the storm is not forecast to come to South Florida, but we know that they've got far-reaching impacts in the form of heavy rain and downpours and flooding and gusty winds and all those kinds of things. And I think that we'll get some of that in South Florida, but the storm is forecast to head to the north and bring a hurricane threat to the Gulf Coast. Okay, so currently, this is the 5 p.m. advisory from the Hurricane Center, 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm, still down here off the Yucatan Peninsula. And one of the questions that we have is, where is it going to go, right? Well, it's a fuzzy forecast. Let me explain why. This is the past 18 hours, and see how it's just meandering in a loop down here off the Yucatan? Well, that presents again, a bit of a fuzzy forecast, because if I show you the Hurricane Center, the cone highlights a potential landfall for the center of the storm anywhere from near Tampa to near Apalachicola. Now I'll bring the models in, and you can see that there's a big area here of a potential outcome of where it may end up making landfall. And what will matter is, where does it launch out of the Yucatan and into the Gulf? All right, so that will determine its ultimate location. So we're waiting for it to make that move. Right now it's just doing those circles. Here's a closer look at the cone, forecast to strengthen into a hurricane by Tuesday, either maybe even Monday night, then ultimately making landfall sometime late Tuesday or early Wednesday. Again, the zone near Tampa to Apalachicola. The forecast right now is 100-mile-per-hour winds. That's a Category 2, though the Hurricane Center does acknowledge that it could be stronger than that. The waters here in the Gulf are record warm levels. That could promote strengthening. But there's also some dry air in here that could slow strengthening. The Hurricane Center sees both of those and says right now the best odds are for a Category 2, though that may change, and we'll watch for that. Big storm surge threat here too. 11 feet not out of the question in areas of the Big Bend and north of Tampa. And as we mentioned, the impacts extend well beyond not only the center, but from the cone. Much of the state of Florida will feel impacts from that.